who is our second guest speaker of the day.
Thank you very much. It is a great opportunity to be here. I thank and see so many young people here today in the anti-war movement, because what affects America affects us. When America gets a cold, the African American community gets the flu. When America goes through a recession, the African American community goes through a depression. When America has single unemployment, the African American community has double and triple unemployment. Why should we be engaged in the anti-war movement? We should be engaged in the anti-war movement because our sons and our daughters are in Iraq, because our mothers and our fathers are in Iraq, because our nieces and nephews are in Iraq, and they're dying and doing the killing and are coming back wounded. We should be engaged in the anti-war movement because over $270 million a day of American taxpayer money is spent on this war. And if we are talking about eliminating poverty in America, if we are talking about rebuilding New Orleans and Katrina, if we are talking about universal health care, if we are talking about increasing education and eliminating poverty within America, then we are spending nearly $3 trillion in the last 5 years on a war, an immoral and unjust war. A war in which they told us that we were going there because the terrorists were there. A war in which they were told us that Saddam had mass weapons of destruction. But when we went there, we found that there were no mass weapons of destruction. When we went there, we found that there were no terrorists, that Al-Qaeda was not in Iraq. When we went there, they told us that the Iraqi citizens will greet us with chocolates and cheers. But when we went there, they saw us as an occupation army. And now our bodies, over 4,000 bodies are coming home. And hundreds of thousands of Iraqi citizens and children are being killed. And the wounded that are coming here cannot even find adequate medical care in the veteran hospitals. Cannot even be served that are in rat-infested veteran hospitals. And this nation is the richest nation in the world. Oh, I believe we've been told a lie. Do you believe we've been told a lie? Do you believe that what the Bush-Cheney administration and the neo-conservatives who have a desire to dominate the world and create a world empire, an empire that is dominated by America for the corporate interests, to manipulate, to contrive a war, to acquire the oil of Iraq, and to make nations be subjected to itself. This war has to come to a stop. We must make a decision of what vision in America we shall follow. Whether we're going to follow the vision of the neo-conservatives and the Bush and Cheney administration, A vision that says and desires that we create American empire. An empire that America will run the world. A new imperialism that has been recouched. Will we follow the vision of the beloved community, a world in which we create a society of peace and justice and care for one another, where everyone will have the basic essentials of life? This is a decision we have to make. We have to make that decision. We made that decision in the 60s when we brought our troops home from Vietnam. We made that decision in the 60s when we said no to Jim Crow, no to segregation. I was 13 years old, getting arrested, going on demonstrations, being beaten by the police, bitten by the dogs, because I believed that we were part of a revolution in America to change the course of America. Doesn't matter how young you are. You can make that decision today. We can't turn back. The Bush-Cheney administration is eroding our constitutional rights, our civil rights, and our civil liberties under the threat. Now they can go into your house without a warrant. Now they can tap your phone without a warrant. Now they can even hold you as they're holding prisoners without habeas corpus. And we ask ourselves, what is next? We have lost our moral prestige in the world. We have lost our prestige of being leaders of the free world. Abu Ghraib, American soldiers and troops using torture and perversion, sexual perversion on Iraqi prisoners. Guantanamo, American soldiers and troops using torture. And yet, we ask ourselves, is this right? I believe that we have to change the course of our nation. We did it in the 60s. We did it with Vietnam. We did it with the civil rights movement. It starts with us. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Oh, I come to tell you that we fought too hard. We've been in prisons and jails too long. We've been beaten too long. We march. We're not going to turn back. We can't turn back. Too many people have died. Too many people have paid the price. Too many children and churches have been bombed. Too many lives have been sacrificed. Too many are still in prison today because of the price for freedom and justice and equality in America. And we must say we won't turn back. And if we make a decision that we're going to be a part of this cause, if we decide that we're going to act, if we make a decision towards a commitment to turn our nation around, then the historians were right. There was once a people who saw their nation taking a course to destruction and moral decline. But they stood up for a cause and acted. And because they acted, they changed the face of the world. You can make a difference. Each of us can make a difference. Right now, I want you to just say freedom now.
Freedom now.
In the world.